Okay, Wolfpack, we are live. Today is our 25th episode of Wife to Wolf in the Wolfpack. Today's topic is having two girlfriends or boyfriends. Woo!
Nice.
Oh my goodness. Some people, we'll save that for later, but I know some of you pack members were like, that's just too much. One is enough. I don't know what I can handle two. But on another note, please hit the like and subscribe to our site. We've reviewed 25 episodes thus far. Make sure you like and subscribe so you'll know when we go live. Also, check out our website at www.wifetowolf.com where you can find more episodes and more information about the Wolf Pack. I would like to take the time to introduce you today, our new and upcoming Athena Gray, the star of the Wife to Wolf Pack show, soon to start hosting as of Thursday, January 5th. Her name, also known as AKA Frankie in real life, Athena Gray on the show. Everyone put your hands together for Frankie. Welcome,
All
Frankie,
right.
AKA.
Thank you.
Yeah, Frankie.
Welcome, Frankie.
Wow, looking really sexy
welcome.
tonight.
Thanks.
Shit.
Hi, Frankie.
What's going on, everyone?
And for those of you who want to log into the show tonight, you want to call, talk to the Wolf Pack, our phone number is 908-484-6681. That's 908-484-6681. You may not get in right away, but just like with any other line, just keep calling back and hopefully we'll get to speak to you tonight. So on that note, happy holidays, Wolfpack. What do you think about that topic? Having two girlfriends or two boyfriends?
That's
You know
like
what
a
I found was
full-time
so
job.
I was interested in how everyone approached the question. Immediately thought that it was about like cheating versus it being a lifestyle, which I thought was super interesting.
So, I'm glad you brought that up, Frankie. I just want to clarify, this is not polygamy. This is not a situation where there's two people in a relationship, and I'm glad you said that because our viewers could have been thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
So we're talking about a scenario where you have a man or a woman who's in a relationship with two people at the same time simultaneously, and neither person knows about the other.
Yeah. Someone's
Does it come with a
cheating.
pension plan?
It's called playing the field. It's called fun.
That's not good. That's not good.
Sounds like playing with fire.
No.
Yeah.
Well, it's fun until
Not
it
in this situation.
Yeah.
until it explodes in your face. But that's part of the
You
fun.
have too much time on your hands
Know
if you're
someone
doing
who's
that.
done this before. Or
What?
have done it before.
Yeah.
Who's done it? Who's dated two people?
I see Atlas raising his hand. Look at that guy. Look at that guy. Tell us.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, it would be
Yeah,
a savage fact, right?
I was,
Raise your hand because your ass.
hey. Honestly, it was more like, hey, the only one for me, baby. And then over here, I'm gonna spend time with you. And then, if you're not dating exclusively, you are fucking single until you're engaged, or you at least have a kid on the way, or you're getting married. You are single until you are in a full committed fucking relationship.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think that's the
Did you
thing.
have at
Unless
one
you
time, Atlas?
defined it to being something specific, assuming that it's going to be something is also quite silly. I agree, and especially nowadays with everything, there being so many options. Unless you have a clear, defined what it is, it really can be anything.
How many girlfriends did you have at one time, Atlas?
About 5.
Wait a minute. I'm not talking about fuck buddies. I'm talking about committed relationships, Atlas.
Yeah.
Oh, then 4.
Ay, Dios mío. Ay, mamá.
The fifth one was
There
the
you go.
Hey,
Good Lord. You must not have a day job.
It would have been funny if you said 6 right there.
Let's all not talk at once. I'm sure the listeners want to hear what you have to say.
All right. Okay. Now, keep in mind that these individuals were full committed relationships when they started fucking with me, and a couple of them even answered the phone while we were mid. Let me clean it up. Coitus, talking to their dude and telling him, "I'll be home, baby," all this shit, and then went right back to slurping me up. Okay, so
Clap, 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 clap.
so
Oh,
it's like my thing is, and it was shit like this that kind of made me look at like, all right, the dating game is fucked. Period. You know, it was just a big ass joke, straight up. I mean,
But
hell
Atlas, don't
no.
you think that that if you put yourself in that kind of situation, you're only going to attract those kinds of people, and therefore you're going to think that relationships are that way? But it's because you're putting yourself in that kind of situation. Whereas
See,
if you were like, so I'm the opposite, right? I was like, I don't want like fuck buddies. I don't want a Rolodex full of hookups. I was like, I want a serious relationship. So therefore, I'm going to shift my mindset and like only bring people that are in that same mindset into the bubble.
this this is this is the M Night Shyamalan twist right here. They didn't make it known they were with somebody until
Oh,
after or while we were doing the do. So
yeah.
with that being said, they portrayed themselves in a manner that was the opposite what they
they
really had what
bamboozled
was
you.
going on.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm not complaining. I had my
But
fun, you know.
you
Yeah.
try to you try to scam a wolf, you're gonna get bit though. That's the thing.
No, that's the
So
thing.
you
No, no,
know,
no. I
come back
even
twice
had
as hard.
no right there. What you said. I had one broad hit me up like a week later. You know, after one of our little mess arounds, talking about man, it was small while it lasted, and my only response was, if you were the one on the receiving end, who's the one getting fucked? Not me. I mean,
Wolf
So
style, baby.
Atlas, what made you decide to settle down?
oh, that's simple. I mean, that shit gets old. It's like when you were a kid, every kid says that I can't wait to be an adult and shit, you clubbing or whatever. That shit playing the field, it gets old super fucking quick.
Hmm.
Very super fucking quick. And with that being said, after a while, you're just gonna feel like, you know what? I just want to come home to one fucking person. That's it.
Yeah.
You just want some fucking stability. You want some no bullshit.
Consistency.
Because that's it.
Okay, so why did you choose your wife? Out of the 5 women that you were dating, what made you choose your wife?
She cooked better.
Oh, that's easy. Well, hey, that too.
That
Hey,
never
I
hurts,
mean,
right?
hey, that never hurts. That's a bonus. That's a bonus. And when it comes down to it, like anything else, it's something that can't be explained. If I could tell you word for word, define it, then I'm full of shit. When it comes down to it, it's just a matter of you feel that vibe, that unexplained vibe. Like you know this person for like 10 minutes, but they make you feel like you've been fucking with them for like a decade. And so you know them better right there in those few couple of minutes than your fucking best friends who've known you your whole life. Makes you feel just, grounded and just, that best friend kind of vibe shit. You know? That, you
Okay.
just
Okay, so it was the bond and the friendship.
yeah, I mean
Overall.
we started off as, best friends and it just went from there.
Okay. Okay, so you started off as best friends. So does that mean she was your friend before she became your lover?
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's when
All
you
right, that
decided to
And
means
stop
it's
having
possible.
four
That was like a
girlfriends and a side piece.
like straight up
Atlas escaped the friend
when
zone, people.
yeah, that means it's
like straight
possible.
up any relationship, fuck buddy, whatever, if it starts off already on a shaky foundation, that shit won't last. If she's just a fuck buddy, you just a fuck buddy, that's how it's gonna stay. Don't try to make it more than what it is. You ain't gonna wife her up, she ain't gonna marry your ass. She's gonna fuck you till she get tired or you get tired of her ass and vice versa. Just keep it moving. If you plan to feel have your fun till you feel ready to settle down. Until you know what the fuck you want, just keep doing whatever the fuck it is you're doing.
That's good advice. Thank you, Atlas. That's good shit. Yeah, that's true too. You kind of start how you finish. You heard that before, right?
Oh
People
hell yeah.
start how they finish. You got anything you want to add to that, Frankie?
No, I mean, I think you nailed it on the head. I'm currently reading about attachment styles, and this audiobook, it's quite amazing because attachment styles from when you're a kid to when you're an adult, and then also the different styles of how you are as an adult and the different ways in which you relate to being in an actual relationship. It's pretty much what you said, like to go from like an anxious attachment style to then being in a successful relationship. I think 9 times out of 10, when you start with a good foundation, like a friendship, and you can understand each other and you can figure out the quirks, you can figure out the fearful parts, you really get to understand the person far better than if you go immediately into the intimate zone, because then you've missed such a massive chunk and you can't go back once you've slept with each other immediately. Like there's no, it's super important to start it slow.
I will say, like, I do agree with it's stemming from childhood, because ever since I was 5, I always wanted to fuck 20-year-olds.
Having that problem now. I only
here
have
we go.
20-year-olds that want to date me. It's so
True.
I either have 19-year-olds or I have like 70-year-olds. Okay, like that's my scope right now. It's bizarre.
That's your
Who you
range.
date?
That's your range.
Those are the people that want to date me. I don't want to date a 19-year-old. I could be the kid's mother.
So you'd rather go with a 70-year-old?
No, I'd rather be.
Yeah.
But the
That's gonna be
70-year-old
that-
does have a son or a grandson that's not 19. So I'm just saying, you may just
Hey,
wanna,
hey.
you know,
There you go. Multiple
search
relationships.
good grounds.
Yeah.
Hey, but if you
All
go
right,
after the
so we're gonna
70-year-old,
come back to
that makes you the
Outlaw because I
predator.
know Outlaw raised his hand as well and said he's been in a relationship and had more than one boyfriend or girlfriend. But I want to switch tracks for a minute. Any of the ladies here willing to admit that they've been in a relationship with more than one person at a time?
I'll admit it. I ain't no
Ooh,
shame in my
child.
game. I'm not a ring collector for no reason, all right?
Nice.
Tell us more.
Tell us the
Tell
details.
tell us more. Can't leave us.
No,
like
no,
that.
we're gonna outlaw here, honey. We're gonna
No,
outlaw.
we're switching tracks. We
okay.
want to hear from
Wow.
the ladies. And then we're going
Deflection.
Outlaw. So tell us, we
Deflection.
want the details, Talia.
I think she's hiding
Dang.
something.
She is.
I'm not
hiding
hiding
something.
anything. All I'm gonna say is I went through a phase of being a military wife, and I'm gonna tell you that ain't easy. That's all. I'm gonna leave it right there. All right.
Heard
Deployment
that.
sucks.
Heard that.
Will you put the details in your book?
One day, yeah, I might.
No,
I might.
no.
Where
I
can
really
I
want to hear
order
these
this book?
details.
Man.
I know about the military wives too. She's
That's a
not.
tease.
I know about the
Yeah,
military wives.
please.
That shit is like you only get a little bit of taxi cab confession. What the fuck?
That's not even.
Explain more
That's
live.
not even teaser trailer.
I can tell
That's
you.
not
I
even
can tell you
teaser
about the.
trailer.
But listen, and before
military
anybody
wives.
starts bashing me out there, I just want to put this out there that it
You
was a
already did.
mutual situation, all right? He was doing his own thing, I was doing mine, but we were still together, and as long as we didn't find out about it from each other, it's like in Spanish, ojo que no ve, ojo que no siente. You don't see it, you don't feel it. Just saying.
I like that.
I
like
that.
Oh, pero bueno,
That's a dope concept.
pero mira que habla mami, bueno.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Mira.
Mira,
Mira,
coño.
mira.
Oh.
All right, so we're gonna go back to Outlaw since we're not getting no details. That door is locked and shut.
Right.
So Outlaw,
Should've-
how
yeah.
many women have you been in a relationship with at once?
I would have to say it was 3. Just 3 women. At,
3
the same time.
relationships.
3
I don't
relationships.
believe you, bro. I don't
And
believe
were
you,
they
bro.
like
Spread
super
yourself.
serious?
I'm sorry?
How did
Crazy.
you
Were they
spread
like
yourself
super
amongst the 3
serious,
women?
like girlfriends? You had 3 girlfriends essentially.
Yeah, there were one on Monday, one on Wednesday, one on Friday.
So you basically put them on like a schedule. What do they call it? A rotating schedule? Rotation.
Then you, and then my boy,
Kind of
then
like
my boy took the
rotating
weekend.
panties.
My boy took the weekend off after that, man, and you got to rest up on the
Exactly.
weekend.
I
You
had the
know,
weekends to me.
How does that work from an emotional point of view? Like, how do you emotionally give each person enough that they are getting what is fulfilling their needs?
Well, you think about it like this. And I'm just gonna speak from a man's perspective. Now, a woman has different needs, right? Some will look for affection, like there's just examples. Some want cuddling. Some women just want someone to talk to. Some women just want a friendly fuck. Well, you know what? Each of those women fit that type of category. I was just fulfilling that need,
Yeah.
and that's how it happened. So, the great thing about it is that I was open enough to let them know that they weren't the only one, though.
Yeah.
You
He was
understand?
fulfilling needs.
Exactly.
Okay, so wait a minute. We were clarifying here that it was a relationship, right? A committed relationship. So if they knew about each other, were you in a committed relationship with them? It sounds more polygamy like, right? Because they knew.
No. I was legit in a relationship with all three of them.
Did they know about each other?
Yeah. They just didn't give a fuck.
Okay.
But then
And-
did they have other guys besides you?
Yeah. Two of them had husbands.
What?
Two of them what?
Y'all swingers, right? Y'all swingers. It has to be.
That sounds like polygamy. That doesn't sound like two committed relationships. That sounds like a whole bunch of people doing a whole bunch of fucking.
Listen, I bet.
One giant orgy.
It definitely wasn't going down like that. But two of them were married. And they just wasn't getting what they were asking for at home. So
you were dating two married women. I mean, how could you be in a relationship with someone who's married already? I'm just trying to clarify for the audience what you mean.
I was single. You know what I mean? I was single, but in a relationship, right? So what I did was let's just say example again, Monday, whatever I did, no one else, everybody else was on the sideline. My time was devoted to one girlfriend for that day or for that evening. You understand? And everything else follows suit.
This is like a business plan. I feel like this is like a business plan. Was it outlaw services or something going on here?
That makes sense to me.
Listen, at the end of the day,
that.
My name is not outlaw for no reason.
He's fulfilling needs.
That's right, savage.
You dropped
Hey,
this.
married
you dropped
people
this
get bored.
crown, King.
What happened?
What made you
dropped
finally
this
stop that?
Well, honestly, it was just like it got boring to me, you know, and I basically ended up the one wanting or having needs of my own. You understand? So
Yeah.
my need was consistency. So I just needed some consistency, and I said, you know what? Listen, it was fun. Thank you. You know what I mean? Much love and respect, and I'll keep everything to the grave. You understand? So I'm not about that. Whatever happens, and we'll keep it moving. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think it's at the end of the day, like you were so busy fulfilling everybody else's needs that you weren't getting any of yours fulfilled at the same time.
Yeah, I just got bored, and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm the one fucking y'all, so I need somebody to fuck me. You know what I mean? Rob me once or twice with consistency.
Mm-hmm. I watched
that consistency, baby.
With a psychologist. She was talking about how it's so interesting in this day and age that we as individuals still take one person, and I'm very much this way. Like I'm very much like a one man kind of woman. Like with one person, I'm with one person and one person only. But what was interesting to me about this conversation was that he said, you're expecting one person to be your best friend, the mother of your kids, a wife to you, a caregiver, this sexual person as well at the same time. Like all of these characters you're expecting to come out of one individual all the time. And that's so much pressure for one person to have to do that. This is why people have like what you guys had. Like somebody will have somebody that can satisfy them sexually. Somebody will have somebody that gives them the emotional attention. So I don't think it's something necessarily to bash. I just think it's the way that you approach it becomes the negative.
Yes.
I'm gonna need to repeat all of that because I'm gonna tell my husband that after the show that I need someone for each individual need. I'm just saying. All right.
I'm gonna be quiet on that one. Yeah.
Do not quote Frankie on
That's
that,
gonna
okay?
get. That's
No,
gonna get the
eventually you just get
back.
one guy for each individual position.
Exactly.
Frankie told me this. All right. I'm just saying.
www.outlawservicesllc.com.
To branch off, also to branch off what Frankie is saying, that's why some people should find, a best friend in a best friend. They could find that within their friends or family members to fit those emotional needs. Like your husband or your boyfriend or your girlfriend or your wife doesn't have to be all those people. You could have that emotional, your emotional needs could be met by your best friend. And you could different people. You don't have to be in multiple relationships at the same time.
Exactly.
I like
Exactly.
that.
Because
It's a good point,
it's actually
Aphrodite.
it's the truth. Because as much as we speak to our significant others, there's but so much that we want to tell them, and there's but so much that they want to hear. So
Yeah.
the person who we go to is who? Our drinking buddy, or our what we call work wife, work husband, right? Relationship. Well, that's our best friend. We go to them because guess what? They're going probably through the same issues that you're going through. And it'll be tea time. And guess what? That emotional anguish will be relieved. And guess what? Your relationship at home will just turn out to be a little bit better.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Have you ever been in one of those situations where you have a moment with one person, you laugh so much that you basically are crying, but then when you try and tell somebody else about the situation, like you can't relate it. Like it was a situational moment that was super funny at that specific moment. I kind of find that this is the same thing. Like expecting your wife at home to understand what you do 8 to 9 hours and everything that happens in that day. It's like, you're right. Speaking to somebody at work who can relate to those things makes more sense.
Right. Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, not even in a romantic sense, but sometimes you just have different friend groups because they fulfill different needs. Like you got your work friends, you got your friends from school or whatever, friends from whatever hobby, and you talk about different things with each group. You do different things with each group. Sometimes it's even like you have a different personality. So like I think like having multiple people in your life just kind of gives you a well-rounded perspective type of thing. Now if you're getting intimate on a certain level, I think that's where a lot of people draw the line, but then again, there's also like different levels of intimacy in a way.
Fulfilling needs, man. Fulfilling needs.
What's your top need,
Sadie,
Achilles?
I think you're on mute, honey.
Okay, hey Wolfpack, I'd just like to chime in for a second. It looks like we have a caller.
Ooh.
And I'm going to give out the number again to anybody who
All
wants to call
right.
in. It's 908-484-6681. 908-484-6681. So we have a caller on the line. Caller, can
Hello.
you please state your name and your reason for calling in tonight?
Hi, my name is Autumn. I'm calling because I got a bit of a situation in my private life, and I just wanted to get some advice, some different perspectives on what I should do about it.
Awesome.
Okay, please share. We'll try to help you the best we
Ask
can.
away.
Shoot, let's go.
Okay, well, currently I'm dating two guys. I've been dating both of them for some time now, for about 3 years, and I'm in love with both of them. And one of the guys has proposed to me, but in the time that I've been dating them, I've never disclosed to them that I am still legally married to someone else. I'm just separated, and have been for some time.
Ooh.
So I've got kind of two issues here. One, I love them both. I don't want to let them go. But the other one is, one just proposed to me, and I would really like to accept it. but I really can't. It's been so long. It's like, what do I do now?
Yes.
How do
You got
I
three
tell them
issues.
this?
So you said that you believe you're in love with both men? And I'm sorry, can I have your first name again?
Autumn.
Autumn.
Okay, so Autumn, you said that you believe you're in love with both men. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you've been with both of these gentlemen about how long?
Now about 3 years.
Both gentlemen about 3 years?
Yes.
Do you mind if I ask, how did you end up in a relationship with, like, how did this happen? Did you plan to be in a relationship with two people? How did this happen?
Well, I didn't plan to really be in a relationship with both of them. It kind of was off and on. At first it was off and on, and it became more serious as time went on. And then, they were kind of popping in and out of my life for a while. We'd be dating, and it wasn't really serious at first. And now as time has gone on, it's gotten more serious, especially during when COVID came. Then it really started getting a little bit more heavier because nobody was going anywhere. So I was spending a lot of time with one opposed to the other. Then when we got out of COVID, I resumed both relationships, but I never really severed the ties with either one.
Got it.
So
Okay, so now, Wolfpack, I'm going to open the floor to you all in a minute, but I want to make sure we get the story right for you all and for our listeners and viewers before we do that. So, did you say that one of the gentlemen that you've been in a relationship with for 3 years, because you're in a relationship with two gentlemen, right, Autumn? Total
Right.
of 3 years with both. And did you say one of them recently proposed to you?
Yes.
Did you accept?
Yes.
You accepted the ring?
I did, but I haven't told him that I really can't get married at this point because I'm still married to someone else that neither one of them knows about. I was
Damn.
separated when I've been separated for some time, but I've never really got divorced.
You're in a relationship with two gentlemen, and then you're still married to someone else?
Right.
Do the gentlemen that you're in a relationship with know about each other?
No.
No. No.
Do they know you're married to someone else?
No.
No.
Okay. So you accepted the ring, but now you want to give it back to one of the gentlemen.
No, she
No,
doesn't
I
know.
don't really want to give it back.
Oh,
I don't want to give it back, but I want to find out what's the way I need to figure out what to do in this situation. I mean, I don't want to give it back, but in some ways, I don't want to let go either one of them either.
Oh.
Because I love them both. I mean, if I can mold them together, I have the perfect guy, right? If I can put them both together, I have the perfect man. But
Well, one problem right away though is that you're gonna have to come clean about being separated from your husband because, like, if you said yes to the proposal, but you can't get married legally, that one needs to come up first. Like, I think that's the first thing you gotta deal with.
Okay, well, let me ask you something, Autumn. Okay, since you said you're in a relationship with two guys, other than your husband,
right.
So the one that proposed to you, you accepted, and now you're not sure about it. I feel like that's that speaks to me that you are in love with the other guy. Because if he proposed, I feel like there would be no problem. You would leave your husband and it would be fine. But I feel like the guy that you didn't want to proposed to you. Is that right? Am I'm on the right track?
No way.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But this is the thing. I do love him. I do love him. I love them both. Honestly, I really do have.
But
love
I
in my
just want to
heart for both of
confirm,
them.
we are talking about 3 men, 2 you're in a relationship with, 1 who you're married to but estranged from, right? 3, not 2.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tell me about your
Yes, but
husband.
Well, no, hold on.
the husband doesn't.
No, hold on. So wait, like, no, continue your thought, like, because So, right. So I feel like you're in love with this other guy that didn't propose to you that you're dating. But the guy that proposed to you that you're dating too is not the one you want, correct?
Well, I want them both, but
She
the,
wants her
here's the
cake and
issue.
eat it too.
Yeah, I
I
know,
want,
but
I
Yes.
want them both.
Yeah, that's what she
Listen,
Did you
wants.
say she wants her
think
bacon
that
I
eaten
want them
too?
both, but I think
With a
sometimes
cherry on top.
She wants a cake.
I want them
listen,
both, but I think like at this point I've backed myself into a corner because for one, now I'm gonna look a lot. I mean, there's gonna be trust issues now because I've been seeing these guys for 3 years, you know, and now if I tell them that I've been married this whole time, it's like, well, why didn't you say this before? You know, why are you just saying this now? Why would you even accept my ring? You know what I mean? So
well,
I'm kind of
let me
like,
let
you know,
me
what?
let me try to help and try to help you a little bit. First off, you have to address your husband, the husband situation first. You need to really think about what is it that you want. Do you want to stay married to this guy, you know, quote unquote, you want to stay married to him, or you know, you just want to get the fucking separation over and done with because honestly, that's what's holding you back. And I'm not judging. I'm totally not judging. I'm far from it. But if you are emotionally attaching yourself to two of these gentlemen, okay, especially with the one that proposed to you need to tackle your husband's situation first, because then I'm not saying that you have more freedom to do what it is you want, but you rid yourself of that chain. You understand? And if you and your husband are not on the same terms and you guys you're no longer emotionally and intimately involved, then that's an easy fix for you. You can leave when you want. You understand? So attack the husband thing first and then work your way into these two gentlemen. Well, let me just rephrase that. Work talk to these two gentlemen individually, of course, and you got to be open with them. Be open and accept it.
So
wait,
thank you for
I want
that,
to hear about
Outlaw. That's really good advice. But
I want to
what
hear
I
about
would
the
like to
third.
confirm from Autumn real quick. What do you want help with?
Yeah.
Do you want to help? Do you want us to help you figure out how to be in a relationship with one person, or do you want us to help you figure out how to continue to maneuver these men so that they don't find out about each other? Because if we don't help you with what you want help with, then it's not help.
Well, I want to help. I want to help with two things. I want to figure out how do I know who I really want to be with. That's one, because I do love them both, but I don't want to lose them. And this is the weirdest thing. It's like like I said, if I could put them both together, I have the perfect guy. But there's qualities about each person that I appreciate, and that neither one of them possess. Like one guy to me, he's a lot more affectionate than the other guy. The other guy is kind of cheap. And that, you know,
Go
so
that don't
those
go with
type
the
of
cheap
things.
guy. Don't go with the cheap guy,
Okay.
girl. Do not
What
go with
is
the
the
cheap guy.
what is
I'm
Guy that
telling you,
proposed to her.
I have
You're
made that mistake many times. Do not
you're
go with the cheap guy.
your
Listen, I would have
problem
proposed to
Uh-uh.
her.
your
Hey,
Bet you
your
this guy
problem has
proposed to
been
her.
solved.
can I?
okay?
Hey,
Problem has
What
been
you
solved.
say? You heard what you said, right?
Autumn,
Yeah.
Autumn,
Gold diggers. Those
Autumn.
are gold diggers over there. Those are big
Autumn,
gold
can
diggers.
I
Oh,
ask you? Can I ask you a question? Well, not a
Sure.
question, but can you tell me about the third guy, the guy that you're with that didn't propose to you?
Okay, well, he's the one that he's very loving, very affectionate. You know, do anything I ask him, give me anything I want. You know,
So he's not the cheap one, right?
but he's not cheap. But he's
Told
you
you.
know, but he's very conservative, but he's not cheap. But you know, like I said, I feel totally provided for. I feel totally safe with him. But I really feel like with him, I think that he's reluctant to get married, to some degree because you know, he's had past relationships where he was taken advantage of, and I think that in some ways he's afraid of that, you know, of that commitment.
Okay.
But by the same token, I can't really blame him because I'm not being completely honest with him. And that's one of the reasons why I've continued to see both of them is because I felt like he was always, was kind of like a push-pull with me and him all the time. You know, he's always been very reluctant to really be all in. That's how I feel in terms of commitment.
Do you
I
think
have a
he's
couple.
being
I gotta get
The
into
cheap,
this.
Loving,
Wait, I have questions.
wait, the cheap one is the
All
one that
right,
proposed to you?
ladies and gentlemen, Wolfpack, can we please let Frankie speak?
Okay.
So there's a couple of things, right? And I think it was crystal clear from the beginning, and like the more we spoke about it, the more it became even more obvious to me. But like, so Autumn, first of all, like there is no judgment. There is this always in everything we say here. It always comes from a place of love and respect, right? This is always from like our point of view, and so the things that we say to you and like the information we give you, it's always from love and respect. Okay. First of all, you're not interested in neither of these guys. You're not. From a simple point of view of the fact that you've been deceptive and deceiving two men for 3 years. So if you take a step back and you put yourself in any one of these guys' perspectives, and you are then one of the guys who will at some point, because it always comes out, but at some point you will find out that the person that you've loved for 3 years has been blatantly lying to your face. Every single time that they have seen you, they have had an opportunity to be open and honest with you, and they have blatantly lied to your face. So the second guy who's the giving, the loving, the caring, that guy, as soon as you tell him that you are exactly the kind of woman that he's been dating in the past, that relationship is going to end. It's given, because you're exactly the kind of woman who he has fought his whole life to not be in a relationship with, and you're just proving that he's in a relationship with that kind of woman again. The first guy that you like, who you're saying is cheap, if you're calling your boyfriend negative names and you're telling you've only highlighted the negative things about him. You've only said like, he's this, but he's cheap. Already that's a no, because already you've only picked out the negative things about this guy. So it's always, I love him, but he's nice, but. So already those things are already saying to you that this is not the person for you. So already that relationship is done and dusted, because if he was enough for you, then you would have only been with one. The fact that you haven't separated from your husband yet, again, it's not a problem. It just should show you that there are things that you internally need to sort out first. And you can play the field and you can date and you can do all of that sort of thing. But what kind of woman do you want to be in your next relationship? And that's what you need to focus on. Because do you want to be the kind of woman that is deceptive, that is lying, that is constantly hiding from people? Like, if you had children, is this the kind of role model that you would want to be to your children? These are the kind of things that you got to figure out yourself. It's not that any of these situations are negative, but you need to sit back and you need to now go, okay, cool. I'm in these relationships, but it's all about me. Like, everything that you've said has been about you and how it makes you feel. And, these guys give you these things. And we were talking about it earlier with what Outlaw said. It's going to get to the point where, like, everybody's giving you stuff. But when you tell these guys that this has been going on, they'll be like, okay, so everybody else has been serving your needs. Who's serving mine?
Got it. Right.
And I think that's, like, it's okay to be selfish, but you're hurting other people by doing that. And that's where the problems start to come in. So I don't think that you have a problem at all in figuring out who you want to be with, because you don't want to be with any of them enough to be with only one of them.
So, caller, Autumn, do you feel as though you're ready to let all three men go?
Well, I mean, I've already let my ex go, my husband. I mean, technically, yes. We're married on paper, but we haven't been together now like 5 years. So
Why
we
that
have let it go. We just haven't gone through divorce. That's it. I mean, we just never filed for for divorce. But we've gone our separate ways. I've not,
Okay, so what
interacted with
about the
him
two
in like
gentlemen
almost
you have
5
now?
years.
Are you looking to let either of them go?
No.
Okay, so I have a question for you. And again, no offense, but I heard a conversation taking place amongst a few men in a barber shop not too long ago. And they said that hoes are winning. What does that mean to you if someone says hoes are winning?
Well, I take it as women who have no morals, no moral standard to just, out for self, gold diggers, just kind of, they're winning. I would not put myself in that category because, okay, yes, I am seeing both of them, but I do genuinely care about both of them. You know what I
But you
mean?
don't, you're lying.
I do.
You also said
I do, but
you also said that the guy was cheap. You also explained, how that you could be a gold digger. All the other traits that you were saying that you have that you were looking for in those guys, you kind of put yourself in that box, even though if you care about them.
Let me jump in just real quick. I have a couple of questions for you, okay? And I want you to be completely honest. And the first couple of questions I'm going to ask you are like has nothing to do with anything, but just answer them as quickly as possible. And then I want you, and I'll ask my questions within. Who can you see yourself hanging a frame in your house, or if something broke in your house, fixing it in your house in the long term? A or B?
Yeah,
she's getting engaged to, but she's not
Is that the
expecting
guy? What I'm saying is you need to find I say you find yourself the person you can see yourself long term, the person who is going to have your back, the person that if you get, knock on wood, something happens to you, you're in the hospital, that person's going to be by your side.
All right, I'm going to chime in for 1 second, Wolfpack.
see, that's the thing.
And Autumn, correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like, and maybe I'm wrong, I feel like we're trying to tell her how to be in a relationship with one person. And I don't think that's what she called up to ask us. I think she called up to ask us. I got myself in some fucking hot water by accepting a ring from one guy. How do I get myself out of this hot water and not get caught by both of them? And yeah, try to figure out which one I wanted it to. It doesn't sound like she wants to break up either one. She wants to keep them both till she figure out what she wants. Is that correct, Autumn?
Pretty much.
What?
But I do want to kind of narrow it down to one person. But I also, the main thing is like, I really do not know what to do in terms of, because I don't, either way, I know I'm going to have to give one person up eventually, but I'm not ready to do that right now. But the main thing is also in giving them up, I'm going to, in keeping one person, I still have to disclose to them that I'm married to somebody else, because it's not going to be like, I can just get out of this overnight tomorrow. You know what I mean? I can't just go and just
yeah, you can.
Can I give you a petty answer? A petty answer. Wear the ring. You can be engaged for as long as you want, okay, and keep your game going until you figure it out.
That's what I was gonna say. I mean, here's the thing: whether we agree with it or not, we got to answer her question, right? We're the wolf pack. We can do that. Put your woman aside. Bring out your wolf. Whatever the hell you've been doing is working. Keep doing it. Try to find a way to spend more time with one of them. Maybe it's a 2-week vacation or whatever. And the same with the other one. Maybe tell one of them you're going to take a break, spend more time with the other one, and make a decision. Or you know what, keep doing what you're doing until you really have to make a decision.
Mm-hmm. And wear that ring, girl.
Yeah, I feel
Collect
like
it.
I feel like you're gonna keep the guy that is okay with the fact that you were cheating on him. So you're gonna pick the person maybe that when you open up to both of them, the one that wants to stay with you.
Yeah, but then you're not going to be sexually attracted to him.
Yeah, but that's what
You like sex the same with both of them, Autumn? Are they both just as good in bed?
Well,
It took too long to answer. It took too long to answer, man.
Dump them
One of
both.
them's no
The
good.
guy that didn't give her the ring was the one that likes to fuck.
One is better than the other.
It depends on what they're doing in the bed, because they're one is better at one thing than the other. You know what I mean?
Why don't you just get them all together and have their own day?
I'll just say like this: one is better at deep sea diving than the other one. You know what I mean?
Why
One's
you
better
just
at foot rubs, the other is better at
They don't
fucking.
fulfill anything. These guys don't fulfill anything. You gotta let them go. But I guess for
Yeah.
now, just keep doing what you're doing.
Hey,
I think the
why don't you
conclusion,
just
let's like
why don't you
conclude the
all three y'all go
conversation.
swimming? Fuck it.
Yeah, I think
Go
Autumn,
swimming.
I think you already know the answers because you kind of answer your own questions all the time. So I think you already know in the direction that you need to lead. And the fact that you keep bringing up that you haven't been honest, you know, your choice is be honest with them and then figure out where you want to go from there, or don't be honest with them and continue in the same path. And then eventually someone will find out and then you'll have to do the process later. So you can either do it now and you can direct the movie yourself, or you can wait for the shit show to happen and then you have to direct.
So Autumn, I have a question for you, and then I'm gonna ask Atlas and Outlaw a question, being that they've done this before. So Autumn, do you think that you could actually maneuver your way to get rid of one of them and marry the other one successfully and never get caught? Do you think you can manage that?
No, I don't think it's going to happen. That's why I'm worried, because now that I've accepted this ring, you know, I know there's going to be expectations with that ring. You know what I mean? So.
Oh, you mean like somebody gonna move
I'm
in
worried about this.
on your ass and you scared?
He's gonna say,
I
hey,
also think that
what the
it's
fuck is
you
going
know,
on?
more demands on my time. Even possibly wanting to move in together, because he's already talked about that before, even before proposing us moving in together. And I've kind of been like, no, I'm not moving in. You know, I came across with this. I'm not moving in with anyone until I'm getting married to them. You know, I don't believe in that, blah, 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 which is bullshit. It's just the fact that I didn't want to, you know, really commit to him in that way, because I knew that I had somebody else that I still had feelings for, and I still enjoy spending time with him. But like I said, I have feelings for him, but he's been real reluctant to really, to me, commit to the relationship on the level that I wanted a commitment and still want a commitment. So,
She
you
wanna
know,
fuck
and
up
like I
again.
said, it's because
She
he's
ain't
been
getting one.
burnt. He's been burnt before. So that's why I kind of, you know, didn't commit to either one, because it was like the one that I wanted a more of a commitment with, he's like, you know, well, you know, I'm not ready for commitment. I'm not ready for marriage, blah, blah, blah. First he came with this, there's no titles. And that was a red flag for me, because I was like, no titles? Well, fuck it then. I'm going to keep saying both of you then. Because if, you know, if you didn't put a ring on
you
it,
answered.
you don't own
your
it,
own
right? You don't own,
conundrum.
you don't own it till you put a ring on it, right? So that's why I kept them both in play. But now somebody put a ring on it, but I'm a little reluctant, because I still want to give, you know, guy B, if you want to call him guy B, a chance to step up.
Nah,
He doesn't even know that he has to step up,
Listen,
honey. He doesn't know.
He doesn't know he's part of a game.
He doesn't
You
know
gotta
he's
give
playing the
him-
game. He doesn't know he needs to step up. He doesn't know the other guy gave you the ring. He doesn't know he needs to give you a bigger ring. He doesn't know any of that.
Yeah, you gotta let them all grow.
On the real. Hold on the real. How big is the ring?
The cheap one gave it a ring.
It's a nice ring.
All right.
How many
It's a nice
carats?
ring.
How many carats is what she want to know?
I don't know. I didn't appraise it. I didn't get it
It's
appraised,
enough.
but
It's enough, damn it.
you know,
It's
it's a nice ring.
Yeah, what you
I
mean?
don't
How
think
big
it's
is
no
it?
2 or 3 carat ring. I'm pretty sure of that, because he's very frugal. You know what I mean? He's like a frugal. He's very frugal.
Autumn.
Ooh, we woke the beast
That's
up. Look at the
me too,
beast is
because-
joining in on that one.
Well, as long as you like me,
That's
sweet,
his
that's all
concern
that
with me.
matters.
Have
He's
you
a great
have
guy.
you
Atlas
given him
and Outlaw,
very
you both have been
frugal.
down this path before that Autumn's down. Do you think she could come out successful?
No.
You want to take this one first? Want to take this one first, Outlaw?
Nah, you got it. You go ahead. You go first, Atlas.
Big dog. All right. Straight up, no bullshit. I know I talk my shit, you know, whatever. This shit is gonna end horribly. It is gonna end fucking badly. No, for real. Like,
I hope
I'm
y'all
not
have a
being
couch
funny.
for this guy
No,
tonight.
for real. Real talk. I'm being at my most serious. Like, think about it like this. Look, all right, at a woman acts emotionally versus a man acts logically until you piss him off. You don't know what he's gonna do. Hey, that sweet caring dude, you break his heart, he might turn into fuck you, you know, like man, I hope you die, whatever, you know? And that's the truth. That's the truth. The shit is just gonna blow up in your face if you keep stringing it along. You need to cut them both loose right now. Cut your losses. Figure out what the fuck you want and keep it moving. Because right now, you just trying to have your cake and eat it too. Because at the end of the fucking day, the more you keep it going, it's gonna turn into one of those massive what the fuck moments, you know? And it's one of those hard bought ass lessons that you're gonna get. So you just need to just step back. Because honestly, when I wanted to settle down, all I did was remove myself from the fucking equation altogether, figured what the fuck I wanted, and settled down. And that's what you gotta do. Because it's cute at the moment right now. He got you rock, whatever. But that sweet guy might turn to your worst fucking enemy. Or the other one, you know, they might feel slighted than a motherfucker.
All right, I don't want to rush you guys along, but we have another caller and we're getting short on time. So Outlaw, what's your perspective? Thank you, Atlas.
Real quick, you don't gotta answer it, but you just think about it. Have you given? I heard you say, you know, there's people you want to step up X, Y, Z. If you haven't given this person the reason to step his game up to make you understand that he's the one for you or you're the one for him, then you gotta really evaluate yourself. Now, second, if you are still having this issue, my suggestion to you is just step away from it. Just step away from it because you don't want to hurt yourself. Because you have to love yourself first before you can have anybody love you or care for you. Care for yourself, and you take on that step when you're ready. But at this point in time in your life right now, you're not ready for that. You understand? You're not ready for that.
Thank you, Outlaw. All right, so before we let Autumn go, is there anyone else part of the pack that would like to give Autumn some advice before we let her go and talk to Emma?
I have one little thing that Oprah Winfrey said. Good old Oprah. She said, I don't have a cup that is full that I then give to people. She said, my cup is always full. And once it starts overflowing, that overflows into the rest of my life. And I think, Autumn, until you start filling your own cup with self-love and your self-respect and all of those things, only then will it flow out and you will then meet the right person. And giving your energy to people that are not the right people to try and fill your cup isn't working. And these are two innocent men that are going to be hurt in this situation. So it's just really a case of filling up your own cup, kind of like what Outlaw said, until you've worked on that and know what exactly it is you want and how you want to be. And then everything will fall into place.
Autumn, I have a question for you. Do you feel as though you're being drained from this, or do you feel as though you're taking from this and not necessarily giving back?
I do feel I feel a weight on me because I do feel a burden. You know, even though I care for them both and I am benefiting from both of them being in my life, I am starting to feel, especially now that I've accepted the ring, I feel a lot of guilt and I feel very heavy about it's kind of weighing heavily on me. And that's why I'm calling in, because it's like, you know, I don't know what to do. And, you know, all my friends are like, do this, do that, do this. And I just feel like I'm in a tug of war, you know?
Just worry about yourself.
My heart's kind of in a tug of war of what to do. I really don't know what to do. I don't want to lose either one of them, but I know I know this can't keep going on. This, you know what I mean? Okay. This can't I can't keep going on this course, especially now that I am engaged to one. I can't keep saying, oh, it's no reason why we're not living together. Oh, you know, I need time to myself. Well, why did you get engaged if you need time to yourself? I'm needing time to myself because I'm seeing somebody else. You know,
I'm gonna tell you how to get rid of one without hurting them, so they don't come after you later. Okay, this is how you do it. It's a simple step. You annoy them until they break up with you. Okay, and then you just listen. I don't think in my life I've ever broken up with anyone. I think I've always been dumped on purpose.
How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Right.
You watch that movie.
Too easy.
Okay, one thing. Autumn,
you know what? You phoned in and like, so two things. You should be proud of the fact that you're acknowledging that there's a problem. So give yourself a high five for that. You know that there's a problem. have you dealt with the situation correctly? You know yourself what the answer is to that question. How would you feel if you were one of these two men? You know the answer to the question. So the fact that you're having all of these questions, you already know the answer and to the questions that you've asked us for. You now have all of our opinions. You now have all of like some feedback that we've given to you. But essentially the fact that you've acknowledged already that there is a problem, that you feel drained, you already know the direction in which you need to go to that's going to benefit you the best.
Okay, Autumn, one second. Just really quick. I really think that if the guy that you really wanted gave you the ring, I don't think we'd be having this discussion right now.
Yeah, because he's not the stingy
Yeah,
one.
Boom. That's it.
Doesn't matter if he's a stingy one. It's
Yeah.
like it doesn't seem like that's the one she wants.
Yeah.
It's not.
Agreed.
It's not.
She wants to wait
Wish
till
you
the
best
other
of
one gets
luck.
together.
Best of luck, baby.
Best of luck, Autumn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right,
please.
well,
Yeah.
thank you,
All right,
Autumn. Thank you
thanks,
so much for
guys.
calling in.
Do what you
Feel
wanna
free
do.
Update us later.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Services
Thank you.
LLC.com.
Good luck.
All right, so we're closing the lines now because we're getting close to the end of our show. We do have another caller that we're gonna hear, but I just want to let you know, anyone else who was interested in calling in, we're not taking any more calls tonight. Please try again next week. But we do have another caller on the line by the name of Emma. Emma, please state your reason for calling today.
Hi. So basically I've been seeing this guy for, you know what, I'll drop his name. I've been seeing this guy, Matt. I will drop his name because
Damn, Matt.
yeah, Matt.
There's a lot of
If he ever sees this or anyone else sees this, Matt, this is for you. So Matt and I,
Oh, she's pissed.
we had met in high school, and we have been together, like seriously, like we live together for almost 4 years coming up. And I had recently found out that Matt has a Tinder profile. And
They still got that shit?
worse than it just being his Tinder profile. My friend and I, she told me this, and I didn't believe her at first. And she got the receipts, and I was like, oh fuck. Wow. He is with some other guy. I won't name drop him because I don't even know if he knows about me. I don't even know if he knows about me. He's with another guy that is looking for a third party female.
Huh?
Yeah.
Wait, they're trying to run a train?
Let me make sure I got this right. So you not only found out that your guy's on Tinder, you found out he's on Tinder being bisexual with another guy, and they're looking for a third woman to bring into the relationship with them or a sexual thing or whatever. Did you know your man was bisexual?
Yes, I did
Okay.
know.
All right, so you knew that. That's not the surprise.
It's no surprise to me. That wasn't the surprising part.
Got it. Did you know he was in a relationship with another man?
No, I definitely did not know that at all.
So that's a surprise. And then the insult is they're on Tinder looking for a third girl when he has you.
Yes, essentially.
Got it. What is your question today?
I am struggling with this because I genuinely love him. I love him, and I have never felt a love like this for anyone else in my whole life. And I've been with him for so long, and it's just been so genuine the whole time until this very moment. And I am having trouble with what seems like an easy solution to my problem, which is dumping him. I'm having trouble with the idea of not being in a relationship with this man who I saw my whole life future with, and I still love and care about, but at the same time, I kind of hate him. I kind of hate him now because it's like, is he who I think I've known for 4 years? Like, since we were kids, have we actually been growing together? And do I know who he's grown into? Like, it feels like I have a stranger that I'm in love with and I cannot let go of.
You gotta let him
Okay,
go.
not to be
Can I,
bleak,
Emma,
No,
but
can I,
I will say
no,
if
don't
you
let him
get
go.
married, and I feel like your long-term relationship, what you just said is what will happen. I love him, but I really kind of hate him. That's
so
what happens.
Emma,
Yeah,
let me,
yeah, yeah.
That's the big question in the room real quick. Why can't you be the girlfriend? I'm just
That's what I
saying.
want to know. That's exactly what I want to know because I'm an open person. We have always been open and we've always said that all cards are on the table with us, which is why this came as like such a big shock to me
Yeah,
because
yeah. So
I've always been like this.
you already knew he was bi.
Yeah.
And so it's a shock that he's with another guy, but like there's a part of you that it makes sense.
It's just the part that is really upsetting and that really just makes it worse than if like he was just cheating is that like
his Tinder
he
profile
could have
says
brought
in
it
a
up.
relationship.
The
He could have
betrayal.
brought it up.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
I think the
we
first
could have
thing-
talked about it.
Yes.
Emma,
I
have
think
you
the first
confronted
thing-
him since you found out this information?
Actually, I have not. I'm letting that sizzle a little bit. And, you know, it is partly because I don't know what to do. I really don't know what to do in the situation because all my friends are like, it's easy. Like, he obviously doesn't fucking care about you. Like, dump him. He's lying to you. How much has he been lying to you? You have no idea. You don't know him. He did this, this, and this.
Yeah.
And
Can I ask a question? Do you know like do you know about him? He tells you about him being with other men,
no.
but he says he's bisexual, but he just hasn't discussed like
We
specifically.
have talked about our sexualities together. I'm also bisexual. It was something that we bonded over in a high school when we were friends because I met him in high school. We've known each other so long and we've grown up together. So all of those experiences and all of that like coming to realize who we are as people, I did almost all of that with him and he did that with me. And
But
it's
have you been specific about like the girls that you've been with? Sorry.
I actively am not and have not seen anyone else other than okay, I did this one time. Like right after our high school graduation, we got into a big fight. And it was over something so ridiculous. It was over losing car keys. Okay, I lost car keys in the house, in his house, and he freaked out on me about it, screamed at me. And so I went to a graduation party and I did hook up with a girl. And that is the only time that I have ever cheated or done anything besides be with Matt. And I told him immediately the next day, I said, Matt, I'm going to be straight up with you. I hooked up with someone last night. I hooked up with this girl and we worked through that. He was upset with me at first because I didn't.
As you should.
Obviously, like I do understand, like it's upsetting, and just because we got into a big argument doesn't mean that I have the right to go fuck around on him.
Right, but let me ask you, but that was what other girls, because you said you were both bisexual.
Yeah.
What other girls besides that have you hooked up with?
Well, before him, I had girlfriends. I had short-term girlfriends and
This was in high school, right?
This was all in high school. We started dating in our like junior year of high school, towards the end of it. We were friends for all the high school. And we had the same friend group. We all knew each other. And he knew my girlfriends and my boyfriends, and I knew his girlfriends and boyfriends that he had previous to me.
Crazy.
And that's why it's so shocking, honestly, and like makes it extra devastating because
So it seems like
Emma, I'm going to
sorry,
jump in.
it seems like
I need to
it seems
ask
like
you
you
some questions. I need to ask
it
you
seems
some
like it's kind of like it's more of like a you were both bisexual before your relationship is kind of your thinking, right?
Yes, we
And
both.
so then you were like you consider yourself monogamous and there was no
Yes.
more of that once you were
And
together. Okay.
and
Okay.
to be fair, we did discuss polyamorous relationships and like seeing people together. But the thing was, we only discussed it as seeing people together.
Yes, I think I'm going to jump in for a second. I think the answer that you need to seek first is ask Matt, like, you need to have a talk with him of why he's lying to you about this specific topic, this specific subject. Like, why are you lying to me about this? If I'm so open, if he's been so open with you, if you've been so open with him, that's the first answer that you need to seek. Maybe there's a reason deeper than him just wanting to cheat on you. You know what I mean? There should be a reason why you're not the other girl that they're seeking.
That's going to come at him too hard. You can't come at him that hard because
I've got it. I agree, and I think that from the male's perspective, like, so Emma, I just want to first, like, so it's obvious that you're hurt, it's obvious that you're angry, and it's obvious that you feel betrayed. But what is super smart about what your approach has been is that you haven't immediately attacked him. So from that perspective, you really have to give yourself a pat on the back because you've said, okay, I'm feeling hurt, I'm feeling betrayed, but I'm not going to just attack him because I love this man. So I'm going to sit with my emotions first before I go into this. So
you're not going to slice his dick off, okay?
You got to like high five.
Not yet, at least.
Like, have a talk with him. That's what I meant. Like, don't jump at him. I want you.
You do need to have a conversation with him, but in the sense, what I'm getting from this is that this is a conversation that it's not sensitive, but it is a conversation that can go one of two ways. If you hold a conversation in a safe space with love and respect, you will have a different outcome. If you go in and you attack him and you're like, why the fuck are you doing this? Why are you cheating on me? He's immediately going to put his back up against the wall and he's not going to be open and honest. Yes, he needs to be open and honest with you, but how about approaching the situation, sitting him down, having the conversation and saying to him, listen, these are the things that I found. These are the things that because we've been through what we've been through and the amount of years we've been together, these are the things that I have found. And I feel in this safe space that we're having a conversation, I feel hurt, I feel angry, I feel betrayed. And I want to understand why you didn't feel comfortable enough to have this conversation with me beforehand. Because you have no idea the context of what he was thinking when he did it. You have no idea why he's hiding it from you. So you can't really have a shouting match without understanding from his perspective either. Because the answers that he give you, it could be like, I love you so much. I didn't want to. I was confused as to how to approach it. It's like, until you understand his thought pattern into why the situation is current, you can't really then, have the conversation. I don't think it's as cut as dry as breaking up with him. I really don't. I think you guys love each other. I really do think that you guys have communicated enough by even having the conversation about both being bi, that you can have this conversation in a respectful manner to each other.
I agree 100%. I agree.
Yeah,
I've always tried to be like that in any relationship. I mean, before Matt, I really didn't have long-term relationships, like past like 6 months at max.
Yeah.
So he's the only experience I have with that. But even in those relationships when I was younger, I did trials and tests of why they were failing. And honesty and communication was the reason that every single one was just bad, and it just ended in like a crash of smoke.
Yeah, because maybe he's scared. Maybe he's scared with this, and maybe
I have
he's
a question.
afraid of like being like, hey, I'd like to have a three-way with another guy and a girl, and that's why maybe he's not bringing it to you. Like, until you know what those reasons are, it's difficult to then, decide.
Emma, I'm gonna
Yeah.
ask, I'm gonna say something, and it might just come out a little blunt, but maybe you're just not part of the fantasy that he's looking for that party. That he's trying to plan out on Tinder. Have you considered that maybe he's looking for a different kind of girlfriend because he's trying to fulfill a fantasy?
That's probably where my brain went to immediately when I found out.
I mean, it's still wrong. He didn't tell you in the betrayal part, but
it's just I thought that was my main connection. I was like, okay, I've talked about this with him. We've talked about this over the years of our relationship getting more and more serious. And he doesn't approach me about being in this three-way type of relationship, hookup, whatever he wanted it to be. I don't really know, because like Frankie said, I really don't know the whole story. I don't know his perspective, which is why I don't want to dump on him.
Maybe because you guys also haven't actually done it in 3 years. Maybe he was like, well, Em and I have just talked about it the whole time, as opposed to he's like now actively wanting to pursue it. Maybe it is just a fantasy. Yeah, I think, Emma, you need to have the conversation, but I think you need to approach it from, exactly, like, I can hear how much you love this guy, but I can also hear how hurt you are. And I think you need to portray, I'm hurt, I feel disrespected, I feel, betrayed. And these are the things that I'm feeling. These are my emotions. And, is this a fantasy? Is this a once-off? Is this like and
But also,
do you want to do it because I'm game? Like, I want to do this, but I want to do it with you. Is this you want to do it with me and another guy? Or is this you want to do this with another guy and another girl?
well, Emma, like, do you think at all? Do you think you're a bi?
Yes.
She said she was
Because
bi.
it just seems.
Yes.
Well, for one thing, it just seems like that you all got into this discussion, and it almost seemed like that you really liked him. So it just seems like, from what you're saying, I'm not saying this is true, but from what you're saying, it seems like you kind of went along with what he was going with, and then when you got in a relationship, you were all about him, and he was not all about you necessarily, because he just kind of thought, I mean, not all about you, but not all about you sexually, because he just kind of thought like, oh, well, she'll be along with this, but I feel like that you're not really along with that.
No, that's not the case. The case
Okay.
is that it's just
She's just mad that she was
Just
left
the
out on
lying.
lunch.
The lying
It's the
and
lying.
deception.
The lying.
Deception
It's
and the
dishonesty.
lying. That's
Yeah.
why you need to definitely,
Okay.
first seek
Okay.
out why he did this.
Yeah.
I think
That's
why.
just
think-
what I
That's
cannot
why.
understand.
I think
Honestly,
that-
Emma, I think I'm sorry to cut you off, Adonis.
No.
Roman. I think, Emma, you, like everyone else has been saying, Frankie, Aaliyah, Roman, everybody, just have the conversation with him. You know what I mean? And really just speak to him, and like Frankie said, explain to him, I'm hurt, and because we've gone through so much together, I just need you to help me understand. You know what I mean? And if you're good eating the truth pill, then fine. That's what's gonna make you grow as a person, and both of you are gonna grow together. And if you could swallow that truth pill and take the answers that he gives you, then at least you have your mindset is a little bit much different, and you're at ease more than what you are right now. So,
Yeah.
Just having the conversation, when being open, being honest, and like Frankie said, not attacking, but just speaking. Okay, I believe you'll get all the answers you're asking, and all the answers you're looking for, they're just gonna come out. You know what I mean? And just go about it that way. Don't listen to your friends, because
No.
9 times out of 10, we listen to our friends, we end up worse.
Yeah.
So if this is a partner that you're looking to spend your life with, for a 10-year goal, 15-year goal plus, just communicate with him and find out what's going on, so that way both of you can enjoy and fulfill each other's fantasy and each other's relationship.
Yeah.
What I feel like is, I think that really what you really need to assess about yourself and ask him is that do you only want him sexually? Because it seems like he wants more sexually. Or do you want more sexually? Like, are you willing to accept more sexually, like in terms of other partners? Because it seems like he wants.
I think that's the problem.
I think
He hasn't at
I think
any
that's what he
point said
wants
that
to
she wouldn't take other
discuss.
partners.
No, no, no. I know. I'm asking. Like, I want to know. I want to know. Like, it's like I think that that's an issue because it seems like she has wanted to be completely monogamous. I mean, not wanted to, but has been,
Now she sounds
and
like she's game.
he
No,
has
I
not been.
just think there's never been an opportunity that they've explored it. They've talked about it. They've had conversations together about it, but they just haven't acted on it because they've been in this relationship.
Right, but
And
he's
they
done it in
haven't-
secret, and she has not. So, like, that's what I mean. Like,
But that's why she's upset because
right,
he
exactly.
did it behind her. So she's game for it. She wants it. You know what I mean? Like she wants to be
That's the
involved
thing.
in that pie. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? No pun intended. But she wants to be involved in that circle to say, you know what, we experiencing this together, and guess what? We can evaluate whether we like to do this on our own terms or together. So being as it is that she's game for it, then hey, talk about it, communicate, and then you can actually evaluate where you stand with him emotionally, sexually, and physically. And
But for
that's
some
it.
reason, it seems like he's not prepared to do that with her for some reason. So
I
that's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah. I think he's exploring. I think he's scared. I'm not too sure how old you both are, but I think he's, I think he's just afraid. I think it's something that he wants to explore. And I think if you give him a safe space to say, hey, I want to explore this with you genuinely, let's do it. And yeah, I think he's just afraid to, and I think he loves you so much that he's afraid to change the dynamic that you guys have as a relationship.
I think he's afraid to be judged by you. You know what I mean? Like he might feel that you're gonna judge him for what he's done. Yes, it's upsetting, because you found out. But
like,
I got the perfect plot for you. I got the perfect plot for you. It came to mind.
Okay.
Make yourself a Tinder profile, a fake one, different picture, and apply for that position, girl. And work it until he meets you. And when you show up, you know it's him, and you are ready to get down and party.
I love it.
Yes. Oh
Don't
my
forget the
God.
wolf mask.
Oh my God. That is it. That is an amazing idea. You know what? Let's plan, do a date night, print out the Tinder profile, do a date night, get all dressed up, and present him make like a gift card that says you're applying, like an application with reasons why you're applying for this position, and then present it to him.
Everything
Because
he
that
wants
is-
you to do sexually that you haven't done, do it.
Yes. And then
Okay.
it's like, you know what it is? It's a playful way to open up a very serious conversation between a loving couple that has always talked about exploring it. This way, you're saying to him, I'm open to explore this. And once you've broken the ice of that conversation, then you can get into listen, I want to do this with you. Let's put in solid ground rules as to what we will and will not do in the future in order to not have a situation like this happen again.
All right, Emma, I think you have your advice. Do you have any more questions for the Wolfpack?
What should I do about the fact that I love him and he might answer with, I don't love you anymore? That is my biggest fear out of the situation. Genuinely, that is the biggest thing.
Like Lizzo said, you do your hair toss, check your nails, and tell him how you feel. All
I'll
right?
call his friends.
That's it.
No.
You will have.
Let me tell you something that I have learned. Okay. I can tell you right now, if a man loves you that much that he can say to your face that he's no longer in love with you and he's no longer that as women, we're like, oh, fuck you. No, let me tell you from many years of experience, that is a man that respects you enough to say to your face, I'm no longer in love with you. So yes, of course, your ego is going to be so hurt. And of course, you're going to be hurt. You loved this man for 4 years, but he's loving you enough and respecting you enough to say, I no longer want to be in this relationship.
But
So
then you
of
might get
course-
punched.
Of course, I would
Yes.
fucking drag him behind my car, but
But then when you don't call her back, you never get hit.
but that in itself is an answer, and rather get an answer straight away than him dragging you on for 3 years without it.
Right.
Oh shit, that's my mode.
Oh shit.
I just want to confirm something. I just saw a question come in from the chat. The chat is confused because they're asking, isn't this guy technically cheating on her if he's on Tinder with another guy? It seems
But
like
has
he's
he
getting a
actually
pass to
cheated?
cheat. That's what the chat is saying.
Has he actually cheated? Well, my friend who brought this up to me, she's kind of my go-to stalker, all right? Like internet stalker. She's really
We all got one of those. Don't
That's a good
worry.
friend to
Don't be.
have.
There ain't no
Yeah.
shame in that game, girl. We all
Yeah.
got one of those friends.
This is how I found out that it was a relationship, essentially, because she found the guy. I don't want to say his name. I don't want to bring him into this, honestly. Who he might not even know about me. But the guy on his social medias that I have no connection to, because my boyfriend does not follow him. Matt does not actively follow him unless he has another account or something. But they've had pictures together. They've posted on their stories like dating stuff. Like it's like saved and like pinned for this guy. It's like a serious thing. And I did have a screenshot sent to me of them with what I'm assuming is another girl, because it was a picture of them all three holding hands and the sunset. And it was just heart emojis, and it was on Instagram, and I got the screenshot of this, and I saw manicured nails, and I
Was his? Good.
no.
Okay, but honestly,
I know this man's nasty nails.
I got a
Okay.
question. I got a quick question.
Okay.
Quick question. All right. Now, you ever heard the saying that there's the type of friend that they'll steal your car and then they'll help you look for it?
Yes.
Yes.
What if your friend is the third person in that group? Because it's kind of convenient, you know, that they approach you with the whole Tinder profile and everything just out of the blue like that, you know, and got evidence for you. And I've seen this scenario play out before, you know. And
You gotta
my
check
next
it.
question to you is, on one hand, you love them, you got, you know, emotions and everything, you know, towards each other. On the other hand, you got familiarity and history. Which one is keeping you more in the mix with him?
It honestly, it really makes me sad to say that it might be the familiarity at this point in our relationship, because it feels like, looking back at everything now that I found this out, it feels like there have probably been so many lies, even if they're just tiny lies. Like there have
I think
probably
you
been
should
so
just.
many I
I
didn't
think
connect.
Emma, you just gotta just before we hang up. I think you just tonight you just reevaluate how you want to go about communicating this to him. Evaluate where you stand personally, where you stand emotionally, okay, and prepare yourself for the worst answers that you can possibly receive, okay. um there's nothing that in this life that you're prepared for, okay, but if you just give yourself something to sit back on, okay, then guess what the answers that you will receive won't stab you as hard as you thought about it, you know. So just mentally prepare yourself and sit down and conversate with him and communicate and if God forbid you're not the choice, then you know what? So be it. Because the last thing that you want is to be the fourth when you're thinking you're the second or the third. You understand? So just conversate, speak, communicate, and just respect each other as you would respect anyone, elder in your family. But just do it in a way where you know what, it's classy, it's respectful, and you still leave you leave the relationship. If you leave the relationship, you leave it with dignity.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, on that note, we've gone a half hour over tonight, and we're usually much more respectful of everybody's time than that, but we're going to have to wrap it up. Emma, good luck with that. You're
Thank
welcome
you.
to call in next week if you have any more questions, but that basically sums up our show tonight. 2 girlfriends and 2
Thank you all.
boyfriends. Based on what the Wolfpack is saying is if you're heading to relationships, it sounds like it's because you're missing something or not getting everything you need in one, and you shouldn't be with that other person. And Emma, it sounds like you were commended tonight for not leading with emotions, but taking time to think, seek advice before approaching the situation. Good luck with it. Thank you tonight for joining in to the Wife the Wolf show.